How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the Positive Mindset Podcast. My name is Henry, and I'm so thankful to have each and every one of you here today because in this episode, we're going to talk about how to use a positive mindset to get through any struggle. Whether you make a mistake, you let somebody down, you're hurting, you went through something painful, whatever it is, in this episode, we're going to talk about how to shift out of that and create the life that you desire. And stay tuned because at the end, we're going to take some deep, healing, meditative breaths to take this message, really breathe it within us, and then move forward in the day in a positive light. So how do you do this? How do you overcome something difficult? Whether it's something that happened to you, something you caused, something that hurt, whatever it is, how do you make it through? You see, there is only now. The past is something that you remember, and the future is something that you think of. You only ever experience now, and you only ever will experience now. You see, this is why when someone has an external goal thinking that will fix an internal solution, that actually gets worse. You see, if you're in poverty, if you're hurting financially and your goal is to get rich, but you're also negative, you're seeing the bad in the world, you're seeing the hurt, you're seeing the struggle. Once you get that money, you'll find that that wasn't the solution either. Whatever it is, whatever external thing that you're chasing, if it's to heal something internal, and I don't mean to say that having more money won't make things better, of course it will. But an external thing will never fix an internal problem. So you get to choose who you want to be now, always. Who you were up until this point does not matter if you change from being them in the now. Now, sometimes when you go through a hard situation, when you let somebody down, when somebody lets you down, or when the world hurts you, or the experience is bad, you choose to make the shift. You choose to become better. You choose to start thinking positively, saying positive thoughts, being that positive person. You start choosing it now. It doesn't mean that what happened in the past doesn't have consequences, whether it was something that happened to you or something you did to something else. You cannot erase the way someone else wants to be, and you cannot change the perception of somebody that views you. But you can change the way that you view yourself, and you can choose what you do in the now going forward. You see, that's what you'll take with you, the now that you choose to be. So whether you're 13 years old, 30 years old, 80 years old, 100 years old, it's still only now, and how you can impact now is based upon the experience that you've had. So if you've lived for 40 years as someone that hurts, somebody that thinks negatively, someone that talks negatively, someone that brings somebody down, but you choose to be different now, you can create a different experience going forward because the world is not as it is as you are. So when you choose a different now, a different being in the now, the experience of the world that you have in the now changes as well. This is very powerful, but at the same time, it's daunting. You see, when you realize that you have the power to really see a situation from any perspective, and that it's not the external things causing it to be viewed this way and causing it to be received this way, that means it's been true the whole time. And people have a hard time accepting that. You see, if you want to get over something, you can choose to get over it. It doesn't have to last a certain amount of time. It doesn't have to go for a certain amount of time. It's not right for happening shorter, and it's not wrong for happening longer. You just get to choose now and what you want it to be. You get to choose the light within you no matter what, because it's always now. You see, so many people go in and something happens, and it hurts. And so you focus on the hurt, and it becomes a part of you. It becomes something you can't let go because you've identified with it. You've allowed that to affect you in a way, and sometimes rightfully so. When somebody does something that's hurtful, or you've been victimized by the universe, whether that's the economy, you started a business and it failed because of some policies that happened, or a downturn in the economy, or an event like where things get shut down out of your control and your business shuts down, you could see that as happening to you, or you can see it as happening for you, and it doesn't have to be then. It can be 5 years. Maybe you've struggled from that in 5 years. You've been negative. You've talking about how you were victimized and how everything bad happens to you, and how this person did this and it should have worked out and this person did that, so they cheated or whatever. You can do that for 5, 10, 20 years, but eventually you can just say, you know what? I want a different experience. Even if it wasn't your fault, the thing that happened, if you give the attention, like wherever you point the finger, that gets the power. You are so incredibly powerful. You see, you have to understand that you're both the creator of your experience and the observer. You observe and then you create more of it. So if you start shifting your now into something positive, if you start shifting your now into something uplifting, then that's what you'll start to see. And when you start surrounding yourself with people that can do the same, with people that can choose to be present now, not hang their hat on who they were in the past and not talk about who they're going to be in the future, but truly be that version of themselves now, it will become more powerful for you because you'll realize, oh, I can do this too. I can elevate too. And it may cost you your past to change your now because you're changing your frequency. Your frequency is what you frequently see. So when you start paying attention to now and you're in a hard spot, you're struggling financially, you're struggling mentally, whatever it is, you're just in that hard spot. And then you shift into now and you start seeing what's good in the world. You start using gratitude to find positive frequencies and bringing them within you. Your experience starts to change. You start to level up. An example I love to think about because perspective is so powerful. Imagine where you are in your current life. A lot of people tune into this because they're struggling. So you're thinking about where you currently are. Now imagine a version of you 10 years from now. This version of you started here, but then they chose the positive route. They decided every day, I'm going to see what's good in the world and I'm going to focus on that. I'm going to look at every situation, find the silver lining, and that's what I'm going to talk about most. That version of you starts succeeding. That version of you starts growing into whatever you decide that is. Maybe they build a business, maybe they have the happy family, maybe they're healthy, whatever it is. That version of you 10 years from now that you're so proud of. What would they do if they woke up into today? You see, they spent 10 years building this version of themselves that sees the good, sees the silver lining in every situation, sees what can be in a positive light every single time. It doesn't matter what they lose externally because internally they always win. They always grow. You see, that version of you wakes up in today. How would they view your day differently than you? What would they see when they look out? Would they see the same or would it be different? You know it would be absolutely different because that's you that's practiced 10 years of finding light and bringing it within. See, you are an observer and creator of your experience. So that version of you has spent 10 years purposefully observing the good and then mechanically, because you just can't undo it. It's what you are. You are a creator on what you observe, does that and then creates more of it. And see, it's not about just manifesting the good. It's not manifesting the cars, the money and all those things because that's separate from internal state. That's just physical. That's something you can play with. You can absolutely create the life of your dreams and be empty within. Right now, we're talking about within. So that version of you does this for 10 years. It's so good. It's so powerful at seeing what's right, bringing it within them, and then expanding it into their life because you can't undo that. You cannot not be a creator. That's what you were made in the image of. You were made in the image of a creator. So you are always creating what you observe. And so that version of you would see life differently. That version of you would see your current now differently. So your now is not as it is. Your now is as you are. You have the power to shift. You have the power to rise up at any moment. So we're going to take some deep breaths. We're going to really breathe this in. So when we breathe in, I want you to think about one thing that is so good in your life right now. Just one. And it could be small. It could be that you had a meal that was tasty. It could be that your car started today. Whatever. Think one thing that you're thankful for. And we're going to take a deep breath in. And as you're breathing in, just view everything, but only have light on that one positive thing. And as you breathe in that thing. Allow it to expand. Allow it to grow towards all you can see as you hold your breath. And then when you exhale, hold that beautiful thing, hold that positive thing in your vision and exhale and blow out all the negativity. Blow out everything that isn't aligned with that thing. So let's go ahead and take a deep breath in. And out. We're going to do one more deep breath. And this time, think about the good. Think about the positive. I want you to wake up. So when you breathe in, imagine, even though your eyes may be closed, if you're not driving, that your eyes may be closed, imagine just seeing everything. Allow yourself to truly see what is good for you in your day. Not just the one thing, but there's many. And you have to go back and play this again and again. That's okay. This is an exercise. You are getting better at this. This is 2 steps closer to seeing the good. So when you breathe and think about all the good things, think about, the bus was on time. You got out of work on time. You wore your favorite outfit today. Your clothes are fitting a little bit looser. All of them. Just take all of account of all the good things in your life. When you breathe in, just see them all. Just know that they're all there for you. As you hold your breath, imagine yourself dancing through the day and touching all the good. See yourself touching those shoes that are nice. See yourself touching that clock as you got out of work early. See yourself grabbing that food that you had for lunch that you love so much, and just see it in flow and joy and all the happiness. And when you exhale, allow all that color, all those wonderful things to stay with you, and allow everything that doesn't align with your higher self to leave you. Let's go ahead and take another deep breath in. And out. Just know that there's no mountain you can't climb. The possibilities for you are absolutely endless. If this exercise was hard, good. That means it's new. That means you're practicing. That means you're stepping into expansion. Come back and do it again. Come back and do it again. The journey is what you're on. It's not a destination. You are not supposed to all of a sudden be fixed. You're not all of a sudden supposed to be positive. You're not supposed to all of a sudden be wealthy. It's about becoming. You are a being, so you're learning what frequency you want to be in. So let's level up and become the rising tide that lifts all ships. Well, thank you so much for watching. I hope this episode was impactful and gave you a different perspective on whatever it is that you're going through. If you want to make sure you don't miss a single episode, make sure you subscribe to my email list. There's a link down below. It will keep you updated with every single episode. And if you want to follow me on social media, there's my Instagram and TikTok down below. I appreciate all the follows there. I actually have one spot for one single coaching session coming up. Now, this one's going to be a little bit different. I've stepped into the entrepreneurial space, which is wonderful, but this one is going to be all about becoming. If you want to change your mindset completely, you do work as an entrepreneur, you have your own business because you want it to go into that. This is for you. This is not your standard mindset coaching. This is not your standard, just get well. This is for someone that wants to align their mind, implement it into their company. So that's one being, meaning your energy is your company's energy. And then you can watch it expand as your true self and leave a legacy of you behind. If this is you, then shoot me a message on Instagram, or you can shoot me a message on my email, which is down below. It's henry@vibeabundant.com. I'd love to know why this would be you, and if it makes sense, we can talk more about it. Well, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, and I can't wait to talk to you next time.